away from Empire, and obviously they follow it up with the Gyro ban. We know that Silent loves that hero, and we know that he's pretty damn good on it.
Oh, wow, opening Visage here.
Yeah, I think they want to get draw Visage now. And
is this Empire's DK, Chen?
And I think Empire know as well. And you don't really want to counter pick the draw. I don't think it's super good.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of awkward.
I don't know, I think opening Visage is still kind of, it's very easily counterable in my opinion.
I don't know, what do you do? There's no gyro.
Yeah, but I mean, if you know they're going to go drow, you can still pick early push, and it's not that bad. You just have to pick like something offlane that actually has very good team fight contribution, like Centaur. Like Centaur is an amazing counter to.
I think you need to go
lineups.
like face rush, kind of like anti-draw Visage. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you can also pick like PA as well. PA is amazing against draw Visage lineups.
That's good. But it's like the birds are so annoying now because you can't really kill them with anything.
Well, they take 3 hits now.
Yeah.
Down from 4, so you can like blink strike. If you're fast, you can actually just kill a bird straight away.
Sure.
I don't know. They're gonna go for Undying here. So still some lane pressure. I mean, they have to know that Drow would be coming, right?
I think they are. It's like VP's bread and butter, like the draw Visage thing.
I mean, as you were saying, other ways to deal with it. You were talking about the PA. They picked up an Undying. Is there anything that you could expect to see them pick up with this second pick that could also be an issue if VP Polar wanted to run that Drow kind of core lane situation?
I think they want to ban out like Puck and like these tempo controlling heroes that give you big cooldowns that control the team fights. So they just can't run over you. Tide is good, Puck is good.
I mean, more than anything, like the Drow Visage lineup is always a siege lineup, so you win your lanes really hard with Drow Aura, and you usually pick solo laners that either one contribute massively to a team fight, so like 8 Mother already mentioned, Puck Tide is also really nice, just a frontline hero who can just like stop them from running at you, and then you can go from there. But I think the first thing that you want to secure when you're getting Drow Visage is kind of the Drow Visage, but it depends. Like they're gonna have to wait for what Empire pick, and I guess if you're fighting into what you assume is that lineup, then you kind of want to pick at least decent lanes, in my opinion, as well. And Bristleback, I think, is a decent way to go about that.
It used to be really good because it killed the birds with the calls.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of mediocre, but it's still very good to just run at them with.
Yeah, take out the CM, obviously good with Bristleback. It's also a hero who can play pretty greedy if Empire, for whatever reason, decided they didn't want to just straight up contest.
Yeah.
And now, thinking about the side of VP Polo, to add to this range strat, we know that they love heroes like the Winter Wyvern and like, of course, the Phobos Phoenix that we saw the other day. Now, do you take these heroes away from the side of VP Polo, or do you just let them have them?
I think Winter Wyvern is actually very strong here, especially since they already had 2 melee heroes, and
for either
Bristol
team,
is
though,
only physical as well. So.
For either team, it's actually really strong, though, if you think about it, because the range on Winter's Curse is ridiculous, and Arctic Burn helps you catch the Drow or the Visage. I mean, it's very easy to start a fight that way.
Both teams are only physical at the moment. So.
Yeah.
Except for Visage Nuke, of course. But
yeah, I like Winter Wyvern a lot, but I know FNG is a fan, so I think it's more likely that VP would pick it up here than Empire.
Yeah, you need a Winter Wyvern player. Otherwise, it's really awkward to have that hero.
Yeah, he's very slow, and if you're not used to it, it's very annoying to play sometimes.
You have to be in the right position, and I think that's the hardest part of the hero.
Third pick now for the side of Empire. A hero that is still available in the draft is, of course, the Beastmaster, which we do sometimes see Empire like to run. Do you think that could be something that they could be considering against VP Polar's, pretty much predictable play style now that we've seen their opening 2 picks?
Their lanes would be too weak if they pick Beastmaster, because they're already up against Drow Visage. They take out Puck and Venge, which are 2 very common partners with the lineup that VP are picking right now, but they need other heroes who can actually contend lanes. They can't just keep picking melee. Like, it's not going to work against what VP are running.
This is almost gonna be a Bristol tri-lane from Empire.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Just go on them, and then maybe have like a safe lane Centaur or Clockwork even. Something like that to like keep them in place. But
is this Leshrac for G, or is this support Leshrac?
I think it's a mid.
Yeah, we saw G play it the other day, didn't he? And he had I don't think they won that game, did they, that he was playing the Leshrac, but he dominated the mid lane in the early stage. He had a very nice lane at the start.
No, they did win that game, didn't they?
They did win that game.
Because 9Pasha was playing Lifesteal on the other team? Was
that
the game
it was that game, yeah. But G had an amazing performance at the start of the game in the mid lane on the Lesh,
I think it's interesting, though, because I think to a certain extent, a Drow Visage lineup kind of needs one hero that you want to put in a solo capacity that's going to be able to tempo control for you, and Leshrac is not that hero. And I think G is like one of the best players when you put him on something that he can play overly aggressive with and push the limits.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday he was playing Queen against Dendi. He honestly beat him so hard in lane. I've never seen that bad of a beating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't win the game, which is kind of surprising, but I don't know. It's not to say that Leshrac is bad. I just think maybe something is more suited to G for this lineup.
Yeah, it was insane, actually. I don't know if this Leshrac is going to be core. He could be a support with like the Visage Low as setup.
Yeah.
Stun. He could be pretty good, especially with the aura.
Even
He
just
hits
like
pretty hard.
even with Frost Arrows and Lightning, you can just
exactly.
run somebody down. And they're gonna pick DK into this.
It's a coreless shock.
And yeah, it is core now as Rubik is taken here by VP Polar.
Yeah.
Is Rubik really the...
I feel like they want a defensive support, like Winter Wyvern or Bench, which is already banned out, maybe even...
I mean, I guess if they're expecting an aggro try, having less Rubik support with Drow is pretty good, because you can stop the Bristleback from going in or to stop the Undying. And that's kind of all you need to do, because Empire, their only strategy in the tri lane is run at you, more or less.
Maybe draw mid and then Leshrac on the try.
Yeah, that could also be it.
I think that's more likely.
Final
They would own DK is really hard. Yeah.
Empire banning out the Jakiro there, and understandably so, because we did see obviously Phobos pick it up yesterday, and he had a pretty outstanding performance there on the safe lane, solo lane Jakiro.
Yeah, it makes their push ridiculous. Like, they would be able to walk up into a tier 1 and Empire would have to rotate like so many heroes to be able to stop it.
That was a good ban.
Yeah, I love Centaur against Drow lineups.
Yeah,
it's very easy to gap close.
Everyone just runs in very, very fast.
Empire here still potentially needing their... I mean, do you imagine it will be the position 1 Bristle here with the Dazzle and the Undying, and they're still looking for their offlaner?
Maybe they go duo with Undying
Okay.
on a strong lane. But it's hard, like draw
The
tri
duel
lane.
won't win though, and I think
Like if you got draw mid and have these 3 heroes on your safe lane, that's impossible to contest with the duel.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
with that try, it's very, very hard.
But I think that's also why they banned CM,
Yeah.
because CM can play greedy jungle. Like maybe even picking something like Sand King and just going ultra greed for Empire wouldn't be too bad. Because I mean, VP Polar, they're gonna win lanes no matter what, and if they have the one hero roaming, okay, so it is greedy a bit. But Darkseer is like still a mech carrier that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
Final pick here for the side of VP Polar. It's obviously looking to be Phobos' hero, and 2 heroes that come to mind that we both know he plays very well and he's picked up recently and had a lot of success with, Clockwork and Phoenix. Do you feel either of those could be what they're considering here?
Clock is great against Empire's team for sure. Because with the Darkseer, you can surge in the Bristleback or the DK, or even the Undying to start the fight. Because that's why VP Polar banned Centaur. They don't want the Strength team to have a mass initiation tool, so they're just like, nope, no Stampede. But Darkseer offers the same thing in a smaller capacity.
Yep. I don't know what's best actually. I think Phoenix could work out fine. Like, but it's gonna be Darkseer safe lane most likely.
That's a very all-in-ish pick though, I think, if you go Phoenix, because Bristle, DK eventually get BKBs, and then Phoenix is pretty mediocre. And then late game wall against Drow Ranger team, I think you would actually kind of struggle. Oh, Timber. Okay.
Okay, I mean, there are 3 strength melee heroes on the side of Team Empire, so
it's good, yeah.
It's a good game for a Timbersaw.
But I think they have to aggro though.
They're lacking
Don't you
disable
think?
now as well. Well, they would put Timber, I guess, against Darkseer, and then... I guess it works out better for Radiant to go aggro in this situation than it would be if they were Dire. So yeah, I guess they could go aggro, but it's... I don't know. It's tough. Going aggro always puts you in a much weirder position, I feel.
I think they are. I think they have to. There's no other way to play this. Like, this tri lane doesn't do well against Darkseer, so you're gonna lose the lane, I think.
Yeah, but the Empire go aggro to dodge, or do they go aggro thinking VP want to go safe?
I'm talking about the wrong side.
I was gonna say.
Dire has Darkseer.
I was like, VP, I don't know, I don't want to go
their own
aggro.
Darkseer.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
That's how bad the lane is.
I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go. It's going to be, well, worth noting, of course, this is the 2nd game of the series here between the sides of Empire and VP. The first game was given as a def win for the side of VP due to the fact that Empire were unable to turn up to the game on time. So we're going straight into the 2nd game of this 2-game series. And, well, it's myself, Eddie Pixel, of course, joined by Atemother and Draskell here at the Asus ROG Dreamleague Season 3. And, oh, Atemother, do you want to tell us what's going on the side of Empire this game?
Sure. On the mid lane, we have Resolution on the Dragonite. And on the support Dazzle, we got Always Wanna Die. Fly. Sorry.
that was appropriate yesterday.
And on the aggressive Undying, we got Aloha Dance. And on the safe lane Darkseer, we got Blow Your Brain, who's a stand-in.
For Yoki.
Former name was Phoebe, if I'm right?
Yeah.
And on the Bristleback, we got Silent.
Okay, and, well, Draskell over on the side of the Radiant. What are we seeing from Virtus Pro?
Well, first off here, we're going to have the Rubik handled by FNG team captain, Illidan Stormrage handling the Drow Ranger. Phobos going to be on the offlane Timbersaw. Going to have Lil playing the Visage. And then finally, G is actually going a safe lane here on Ultrak. So you were right about the Drow mid, but it's actually going to be duels from VP, I guess. Or no, actually they're rotating.
They're moving down.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they really. I think this favors VP so much.
Yeah.
But it's the only thing Empire can do, in my opinion. Otherwise, their lanes are gonna be screwed. So
Okay,
We'll
so
see. They need to like feed kills on the bottom lane, I think.
Timbersaw on the off lane. It's not a hero that we've been seeing a lot of at all recently. Against the Darkseer, how does the matchup kind of fare off?
I think he favors Darkseer.
Yeah. Not by much, but
I think both of you is gonna farm. No one's gonna kill each other.
Yeah. The thing about the Timbersaw is like if you put 2 points into reactive, they buffed it, so now you actually get a pretty good amount of regen. So level 2 is 10 health regen if you get max stacks. So I think it will work out okay for them. And I do think that the Timber actually functions well against the lineup just to be able to like break up the clump, right? Like if you surge somebody in, they could potentially just get lifted and Timbersawed, and that's like death to a lot of these heroes.
Ouch. That was a soul rip for like 150
You got a level
damage. Yeah. Just a Raz.
I guess Trilane versus Trilane is pretty good.
He has so much regen now.
I mean, obviously talking about this Trilane here versus Trilane on the bottom lane, you were saying you favour the side of the VP. What's that down to the fact that they've got this Visage that's always very nice to have in this kind of aggressive situation?
You can see now they're actually pulling, so they're getting extra experience that Dire are not getting. I think Dire need to get some early kills going here, or this is gonna be really bad for them.
Well, VP are very confident in their lane, so that's one reason why they can pull. And the other thing too is any lane that functions with 2 melee and you don't have a real way to start the engagement, it basically requires VP to go on you and for them to make a mistake.
Oh. Just gonna put down the telekinesis onto Always Wanna Fly. They're not gonna follow through with the stun.
That's
She's just a level
HP
1
from a
has the lightning
telekinesis.
storm.
It's pretty good for us.
Yeah, that damage from Drought Aura, too
He
strong.
only has 1 tango as well. They don't have a lot of regen, so any kind of harass to get is worth a lot here.
I mean, the fact that obviously the Undying did go for that level 1 Sorip, doesn't that kind of mean that they're not going to really be able to go until there's level 3 really on the Undying? Because they're going to need the Decay, they're going to need the Tombstone really to destroy the Trilane of VP.
I think if you get a Goo on the Bristleback, but actually he won't get it until at least level 5, I guess? Or no, he would get it at 4. Yeah, 2-1-2. Or 1-2-1, sorry.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, that's quite a while to get that much experience. I guess they can try to contest the pull, but again, it's very hard to go on VP.
I mean, looking at the other lanes as well, the mid lane matchup between the Drow Ranger and the DK at the moment, pretty fairly even between the two.
Tombstone, maybe. What do you say?
In the mid lane, pretty even between the DK and the Drow. I mean, would you have expected the Drow to have a slightly better time, or is the DK was going to stand up
DK is going to have a good time.
Yes.
Doesn't breathe fire, and like, Throw's animation is pretty bad.
He's opted to go for the typical Illidan build though, which is no Frost Arrow.
Yeah, you can't really harass him out either way, because he's going to Battle Crow, so... But if you go for lasted, that gives you some more lasted power.
It helps your other lanes as well.
I think it's the right thing to do, overall.
It's going to be one of those games that's kind of very passive here. The one big difference between this game and a lot of the games we've been seeing is there are no like solo lanes that are going to have a giant team fight impact. So there's not going to be like a Puck or a Queen TPing to a lane to help the tri lane. It's just kind of like, okay, we have a Dragon Knight and then we have a Darkseer. Sure, the Darkseer can surge in, but it's not quite as impactful as some of these other heroes. So I think that actually favors VP in a way. Because there's no like big fight turning hero that they have to worry about hitting 6. It's kind of just like Empire are going to slowly get stronger, and then VP's team scales ridiculously well at 6. They do hit a plateau though at some stage in the game. Yeah,
but VP are already level 3 and Lashok and Rubik. This is pretty scary for Empire. Empire is like trying to find the window. Oh, this is haste on Dying.
He's going to come straight into the lane here. He's got a point. It's Decay and Soul Rip. There's going to be telekinesis straight away, but he's going to continue to chase one down with a Decay onto FNG. Lower Dance himself. He's getting a lot of harass coming back from the side of VP. He's got to back himself back out. He's looking to go in with a Soul Rip. It's just not the damage here from Empire to bring down anyone on the side of VP.
In my turn, they've lifted 5.
Lightning.
Ouch. Aloha is dead.
Wow, was that level 2 Soul Assumption? Had to be, right? Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Even has 10 stick charges and a mango.
G has like 17 stick charges, I think.
This is kind of expected though.
Yep.
But it's really bad for Empire.
I was going to say, if you run a lane like this, as you were saying, you really need to be finding the kills to get any kind of game from this lane. This is not the start Empire are looking for down there. There are other lanes, you know, the Darkseer farming very well, but as expected, Phobos is finding quite a bit against. He's managed to get himself 18 CS on this Timbersaw. The mid lane as well, still pretty even between the two, 25 for 10, 22 for 6. So only really the bottom lane that's going, you know, not too great for Empire.
I think it's kind of a weird mentality to opt to push into the best thing that VP have going for them, which is their tri-lane. Like, why not just pick another hero who can play greedy? Because the rotation potential from a Rubik and a Visage is like, it's okay, but I really feel like you could just have the Dazzle kind of hovering around between middle and top lane, keep both heroes safe, and then just have some hero in the jungle that is going to be able to get a blink, so that way during the mid game you have some way of starting an engagement. Because right now, Empire's initiation consists of a surge on a hero with a stun, which is only DK.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward right now. I don't know. The Undying kind of made them lane this way.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to put Undying Dazzle versus Timber.
But
I think that's the main reason.
That's also why I think picking Undying early is actually weak. Yeah. Because it forces you, like the hero has to win his lane, but there's so many ways to play around Undying in lane that can make him not win. So
I think the problem is
G and FNG here. They found always want to fly here by the rune spawn. They're going to be able to find themselves a kill. The low hard dance will drop the tombstone, but the tombstone gets taken down straight away. Can G and FNG look to chase this one even more? He's going to back himself towards mid lane.
So much damage.
And put them off. But that's a second kill now for VP. And again, happening around this bottom lane. It's not the best of starts here for Empire with the aggression that they were looking to assert.
Yeah, VP love the static lanes and 35 damage from Precision Aura.
That's just...
Oh my god.
Insane.
But this is kind of what I mean, though. Like, why would you play into your opponent's strength, which is clearly the laning phase?
I think they got kind of outdrafted. So.
Telekinesis and a stun here onto Silent with the Soul Assumption Nuke as well. He's going to get low and he will indeed go down. The damage is just too much from the side of VP. Resolution is going to look for a gank here onto Phobos, but Phobos has got a fair few points in this reactive armor. Will get the Dragon Tail stun to his backside. He's got 2 points in reactive armor. Plus the Timber Chain. In fact, Empire, they need to be careful with the Chakram coming back. Resolution might go down here. Lil TP and will be able to find one kill. Now he's going to look to clear it up as he goes for the Darks here. Blow Your Brain trying to juke it out in the jungle. He has got a TP, searches himself, but a TP in from G as well. G's going to find him out here. He goes into the sidelines. The Soul Assumption come through is not that much. G walks through the wall. It doesn't matter. They've killed the Darks here. G also getting the deny on the tower. It's 7 minutes in and it is not looking pretty for Empire this game.
Now the sad part is Blow Your Brain was one who was doing the best on his team, and then all of a sudden he and both the mid player die. The Visage is level 6 at 7 minutes and has a medallion. Are you kidding me? Like, good god, he is farmed.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
This is insane. Like, he's gonna farm so fast and he can just do Roshan right now with the smoke. It's gonna die in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know. I am inclined to agree with the outdraft that you mentioned.
Looking rough. Like the lanes didn't work out, and I don't know. It's really hard.
I mean, that was a very aggressive play as well from Dragon Knight. They're going between the tier 1 and the tier 2, trying to get down a Timbersaw. He's got those points in reactive armor. I mean, the TP reactions were always going to come from VP. I mean, very ballsy play.
I understand why they wanted to go aggro. They feel kind of pressured to make something happen, you know, try to break down the laning phase a bit. Because it does open up space for the Bristleback to try to recover his farm, and I think that is important. Like, playing a static laning phase against Drow Visage is never going to be good for you.
No, that's fairly low, but will back himself off here. FNG's not going to be able to find the initiation. But still, Empire, they've got the Darkseer at the top of the net worth board. Helidon very close behind, and the Dragon Knight still not falling that far off. So even though it's 5 for 1 on the board, the amount of value on each of these heroes is still fairly even across the board.
Yeah, they're really strong with the mecha timing now as well on Empire. And the most important timing is going to be this Roshan, I think. First is not super important, but the second one is, because it's like high ground timing for Visage with Aga at like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
if they can start taking fights before they lose any towers, I think Empire might be okay.
We should try to use this mecha timing, I think.
Yeah, that looks like exactly what they're doing here. Yeah, Blow Your Brain is going to get very boarded and telekinesis. Dust comes through, he's just going to walk this one off, and so is Resolution. They back themselves off for the time being. And Ruby Wussy managed to steal himself there. So, good old breathe fire.
It's a really good nuke to have. Also lowers base damage, which is pretty sick.
Nice. The side of Empire, they really want to do something here. They're grouped up as 4. It's going to be the surge onto Resolution. A TP reaction from Timbersaw. DK Phobos is here for the defense. Chucks out the Chakram straight away. Won't catch anyone on the side of Empire, but it does clear the creep wave. Resolution still standing his ground here with the ultimate. Fortification comes out. Lil wrapping around with the Grave Chill.
Oh my
look at the medallion as well. So much damage here from this Visage. There will be a shallow grave, and the Dazzle will be able to top Resolution back up. He gets himself out. Soul Assumption will hit onto Always Wanna Fly, but it's not max charges. Won't be enough damage, but this Visage he's already incredibly scary 9 minutes in.
Yeah, he's a beast. VP actually get their second tower deny as well. So 2 tier 1s actually going in favor of Empire, but they don't actually get the gold benefit for either of them, which is kind of painful.
Is that a point boost for G? Well, important thing is Visage is getting so huge from all this. Like he's the biggest hero, like the most important hero on VP side. He's like I'd say he's like the #1 position, basically.
Yeah, he has.
So it's very important for it to secure him like kills and farm.
The other thing too is, with the way that Illidan was building, like he's just going all edgy, and this does show that to some degree VP want to continue to try to pressure lanes. Bottom might be catching out the DK.
And they're going to go for it here. Resolution getting caught out by the slow here from the Lightning Storm.
Lash stun.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. He would have been dead, I think.
Top lane at the moment. DK Phobos continues to find what he can here. Now against Silent, who's returned to the safe lane, looking for a bit more of a space than he was getting on the bottom lane. Phobos just going for it here. It's going to be a hard lane for Bristol.
The catapult just killed it with aura, I think. Maybe not.
I actually think the Empire are stemming the tide pretty well.
It's not that huge of a lead either.
Yeah, I mean, Draw Visage doesn't really kick off until a little bit later, but I mean, level 2 marksmanship, and then, like you said, Visage Aghanim's timing is really key. But
as long as you're not super behind, it's like you're fine. We're just gonna group up and get towers, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's still kind of tense for Empire. Are they going for Crimson on the Bristle? Is that the build? Yeah, he's going Vanguard. I think if you can tank up enough on maybe your DK and your Bristle, you might be okay. Try to surge him in and then fight around Tombstone.
Yeah.
To maybe get like a nice vacuum.
It's like 50-50 physical medical damage with the Timber and the Leshrac.
Yeah.
As well as the Draw and Visage, so
you kind of want BKB as well.
It's very hard to itemize against that. Exactly.
Well, bottom lane, we're going to see the push from VP be able to claim a tier 1 here. And Empire, well, they were wrapping around, but they're keeping themselves grouped up here by the secret shop. Do they want to try and fight into this? We're seeing that the Radiant Vision is pretty good. It's not quite catching the position of Empire as they keep themselves behind the deep tree line. Lil, he's going in head first here. He's got to be careful. There's a lot of heroes on the side of Empire. Empire will drop the Tombstone. Lil just turns the bird straight towards it, trying to take it down. Dragon Sail from Resolution catching out Lil, and he gets vacuumed into the wall. They will bring down the Visage here. He has still got the birds in play. Will they be able to take these down as well? Yep, there's one, and there is two. They get themselves a bit of pocket change as well on top of it all. So Visage just a little bit too aggressively positioned there.
Yeah, any pick that Empire are able to get right now is, I think, much more favorable for them. Is this Surge gonna wear off?
Oh.
Wait, what? He went for an auto attack. Maybe he just didn't think he could get in range. I think Dragon Tail is still slightly shorter than auto range in Dragon form.
Yeah, it is. It's like, what is it? Doesn't say.
It doesn't show properly in range
400.
form.
Yeah, it's 600. Right? No, 500. I think he definitely could have gotten a stun off there.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Maybe he just kind of regretted going in there. So he could have had backup.
He was kind of face rushing a tier 1, and he didn't have a team yet.
Yeah, exactly. So understandable.
Yeah, Empire actually not doing too bad right now. They still have 2 of the 3 highest net worth heroes. The Bristleback has actually like totally recovered his lane as well. He's neck and neck with G. So in terms of farm trading, it's actually going well.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They looked really bad in the laning phase.
VP still have yet to show their 5-man potential here.
Oh, mid lane. Telekinesis onto Resolution as Lil and Illid go straight in on it. He has got the Shadow Amulet, but the Sentry has been dropped, and they will be able to find the Dragon Knight there.
Yeah, it's a big kill, keeping him away from the Shadow Blade. I don't think VP are going to be the kind of team who split up too much this game. Like, they're going to farm for maybe another 5-10 minutes, and then I think they're going to look to group up, maybe even try to get Roshan. If for whatever reason Empire are able to take Roshan away from VP, I think the momentum of the game drastically favors them.
Yeah. It's gonna be mostly about the Roshan this game. It's like the biggest objective for both teams, especially VP though. So they can actually finish the game.
Because I mean, late game, the DK lineup with Bristle will definitely win, I feel, with the Darkseer as well. Like eventually when he gets Blink, there's no counterplay to that on VP. Like if you get Blink vacuumed, you are pretty much engaged in that fight, you can't run.
It's very true.
Side of Empire here going to find themselves a very nice Ancient Stack, going to help Silent to continue his way towards that Crimson Guard now on top of the completed Vanguard bottom
Resolution.
lane. They're trying to go on Resolution, they catch him just on the tip of that stun for the Leshrac, and now with Phobos coming forward, there will be a Dragon Tail onto the Timber Sword, but it doesn't matter. G's able to finish that off, and this is your Leshrac now on a killing spree. G having a pretty damn good game, 2.5k on top of the point booster in his inventory now.
Does he really ever have a bad game?
I can't. I'll be honest. G's performance recently, just across the series, has been ridiculous. I mean, it was on the Queen of Pain on the both games against an RV, and even though they lost one, G has to be almost certainly one of the most solid performers on the side of VP in this league play.
I think he had like a 8k day or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a game where he dominated SF in the mid lane. Well,
dear
mid
God.
lane. This Visage, I tell you, FNG, he's going to try and chase this one down, see if he can find anything. Always want to fly is going to be surged up, but there's a Visage waiting here with the two-man stun. There goes your Dazzle. It looks like Darkseer could be in trouble as well. The Soul Assumption nukes, they're just too much. Darkseer going down as well. Aloha Dancer's got to run himself right back to base, but the Lightning Storm slow will catch him. Phobos as well with the Chakram slow and damage. Are they going to be able to find Undying here as well? Yes, they will. He can't get the Soul Rip out. 4 heroes down on the side of Empire. And VP's lineup just seems to dominate what Empire have brought to the board this game.
That's kind of like Game Mother was saying. Lil just having such a great start to this game. It's so bad for Empire because that Medallion just did absolute work during those team fights, and the Weave Steal wasn't bad either.
Yeah, and now Rubik even stole Weave during that fight.
Yeah.
That's so insanely huge for them right now. It's a counter to Bristleback in like every team fight. If they can just keep holding on to this.
Oh, he walks up to the high ground and says nope. He's going to go back to base, wait for some backup after that one, because after that fight, with the amount of money that VP have got in their pockets, they're going to be able to start getting some big items out.
They're going for Roshan here.
Yeah, he's already got a Dominator. This is free. They can't do anything about this.
It's so farmed.
Or maybe they can actually. They do have wall still.
They have to do something.
They don't have a...
Oh, they're going to smoke and go here, the side of Empire. They're ready to try and make a jump onto Illidan. Roshan's getting low. They've got to do something pretty shortly. It looks like they're going to get Roshan. Well, Empire, they might still try and fight. They're going to pop down the defensive weave. They're going to go straight onto FNG. Phobos from the high ground with the Chakra. There's going to be a vacuum monster. They brought down Rubik. Phobos now just trying to get himself back out. But Illidan and Lil from the backlines, they're just fighting through it. Now with the stuns from the Familiars, they've taken down the Darkseer. They're controlling Aloha Dance, who's trying to get the decays out. Soul Assumption onto Silent brings him down. They're going to find Resolution as well. It's a 4-for-2 trade. Always want to fly. The only one left will get caught out by the Gust. He's going to try and TP out the Familiar stun there. Oh, they got it. No. Oh. Not in time. He gets out. But the rest of his team, they all go down. Empire losing 4 heroes again. And in that fight, they ran past Lil and Illidan. They were heading straight for the rest of the team of VP and Illidan. And Lil, they just stood there, shooting out with the Familiar, shooting out with the Drow Ranger. And Empire just melted.
The Tombstone melted as well.
And Illidan almost has a Silver Edge as well.
It died instantly. Like, Silver Edge versus the Dragon Knight and Bristle is like...
Yeah, both just melt. And FNG has got off his weave on like 3 heroes. Just before, he has run in Suicide to get the weave off. And that just totally changed the fight.
Yeah, I think honestly though, if Empire had been like even 3 or 4 seconds sooner, like go into the pit, cause some chaos before Roshan starts, like getting the Tombstone into a better position.
If they can pick up the Aegis, whatever, it's huge for the fight. Yeah.
I mean, being able to drop Tombstone on that high ground edge as well, making the heroes not able to just turn and punch it instantly. Like that Tombstone lasted like a second, and then it was gone.
Resolution with the Shadow Blade will find Illidan here. Illidan has, of course, got the Aegis. He's going to be able to fight for round 2 if he gets some backup. He's going to pop his own Shadow Blade. They do have detection, and they should be able to bring him down once. Now they're going to go for round 2, but he's got backup coming in the form of G and FNG. Can the side of VP fight into this? Or are they just going to let Illidan go? They're going to throw in a Lightning Storm. Do they want to go for this? A nice stun onto 4, but the mech's being popped. The walls drop. Yeah, they can't go into this. The rest of VP, they've got to just take the death on Illidan and get themselves the hell out of then. Well, the Shadow Blade from Resolution allowing him to chase down G here. Can he get in range for the Dragon Tail stun? That is the question. He's got a little bit of time left on the invisibility. There's no tier on it, and now with the ulti, he does indeed find it. Can they bring down G? Phobos and FNG have turned up to the fight. They're going to try and set it around here. Phobos straight in the middle of it with the Chakram. And look at the damage for G. He'll Bloodstone Suicide as well, but he's already done so much damage. The heal topping up FNG and Phobos, allowing them to continue to fight, but now with the Dragon Tail onto Phobos. Silent and Resolution looking for that kill. Always want to fly low hard down to the river, looking for FNG. FNG turning around with the decays, trying to get himself out. They've lost 3 on the side of VP. They might lose FNG as well, who did indeed steal the ultimate there from Undying. The Tombstone zombies chasing him down. Will this Rubik be able to get himself out of there? No, he won't. Double kill for Resolution as he finally takes down the Rubik disguised as the Undying there. And that is arguably one of the better fights we've seen from Empire this game.
Well, it did start off with a hero pick, so whenever you're fighting without the Drow even being alive at the start, it's going to be nice. They catch out G before anyone else is really in the vicinity, so there's no counterplay. Like, there was not really a whole lot VP could do. They were just out of position. I think throwing away the Aegis is actually really bad for them, even though they still have a substantial lead. Like, they're not behind, but I think that Aegis should have been able to at least get like the tier 1 top, maybe.
Yeah, and Lil was farming bottom all the time during that fight, and he got his Aghanims now. So...
Aghanims Medallion, 19.5 minutes in. It's pretty good.
Insanely strong right now.
Yeah, the last like 5 to 7 minutes of this game, VP just like put the pedal to the metal, just gained like a massive advantage, because for the first like maybe 10 minutes or so, wasn't really that big of a difference. Even around 15, it was only a few thousand. And then like one team fight in a Roshan later, you are in the red if you're Empire.
Yeah, and the next Roshan is going to be so important. Like, that's where the game is going to be decided, I think.
Yeah.
If VP doesn't get it, they...
Oh, the stolen surge from FNG. Is this really going to enable them to close the gap? Yes, it is. What a play there from Rubik. It will bring back the Darkseer, but Darkseer's got friends Silent and Always Want to Fly coming in. There'll be the Shallow Grave on to blow your brain. They're looking for Resolution, Lil and Illidan. Resolution trying to get himself away with the Shadow Blade. He's going to be okay. No one falling out on the side of Empire. Now there's going to be a TP, but it's going to be cancelled straight away by the Undying, who realizes he does not want to be in the midst of all that. And looks like VP will be able to find the space here to take down this tier 2. And maybe even find a kill. Well, Illidan with the gust onto Illidan, and the damage flying out from this Drow Ranger. Already hitting only just under 300 damage 20 minutes in.
They're just gonna go higher and kill this tower, I think. They have Glyph though, but
they don't have wall anymore. Like, they used wall during the last team fight. I think without that, it's way too hard to defend this. Maybe you can surge in the DK again, look for a stun. I don't know, man. I think VP kind of just gonna
He
get
hasn't
this.
even summoned his Aga Burst yet. He's saving it.
Silent. Got to be careful on the front lines here.
He wants the stuns.
Dazzle is back up. They're going to search Resolution. Goes in for a cheeky breathe fire. They've already lost the tier 3. Now VP, do they want to stay and fight? Well, Empire's going to try and make them move. Resolution getting a drag shot. There's a nice vacuum, but they don't have the wall, of course, as they did use in the last fight.
Oh my god.
Tombstone just disappears. Chakram flying through onto Always Want to Fly. They have found the kill onto Rubik, and oh my goodness, this is something that Empire need to get themselves out of, and maybe they need to get themselves out of the game as a whole, because this is not going great. They've lost 2 heroes, and the side of VP looking for more. Silence staying alive here with the Crimson Guard. Solar Assumption to his backside, and they will be able to bring him down there with a Familiar's double kill here for Lilla on this Visage. Aloha Dance, they're trying to get themselves back to the world, but the Solar Assumption flies through. We'll find him as well, and with that triple kill from Lil, GG will be called by Aloha Dance. And what a game for VP, and what a game for Visage.
That was an outdraft, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, I agree. I think
the first Russian just decided the game. Like, if they had been maybe a couple of seconds sooner, could have been a much closer series, but this game in particular, they had no way of winning the lanes. Like, it was way too hard.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Undying pick, like so early, kind of painted them in a corner.
Yeah.
But giving away